Arsenal top of the league. If your team is top of the league, like this video, absolutely smashing it. It's just, it's just normal now. I'm not even surprised. We just rock up. We take 3 points wherever we go. We are absolutely bossing the Premier League this season. And you know what? It's about time Arsenal fans started accepting and embracing the fact that we are proper contenders. We're making games like this, tricky games where we didn't have it all our own way and not even playing exceptionally well. And we're coming here and taking 3 points consistently. So tell me why we're not contenders. Why is it that so many Arsenal fans that I speak to are scared to say we can go toe-to-toe with Man City? As far as I'm concerned, look, we all know they've got a bigger squad and, when players come off the bench, they've got quality in droves. But listen, man, Arsenal are doing the business. And I think it's about time we start respecting the quality of this team and this manager and admit that we are contenders. I'm saying it first. We are absolutely in the mix. Injuries permitting. And that's on the verge of the January transfer window starting now. Because listen, there's not a Premier League game until Boxing Day. So we haven't got that many games left until the January transfer window starts. And we're 5 points clear. Can you imagine if the board take this title challenge seriously and they say we're going to back this team, we're going to back this manager because we think we can achieve something special this year? If we do that, go and get someone to boost this team in January, anything is possible. So I'm seriously excited. When was the last time we won the league, man? It's been too long. And finally we can do something. Europa League to look forward to as well. Can you imagine that at the start of the season we were talking about getting Champions League? Who's talking about that now? That's an absolute given. It's nice to end this part of the season where we now go into the World Cup on this note. And the one thing I was worried about today was that with Man City losing, the amount of pressure that was on this game, an away game against a team bottom of the table that are going to make it difficult, scrap for everything with a new manager, it's not an easy task. And Arsenal, in a way, I know we've been top of the league for a long time, but we've almost been under the radar this season because everyone expects Man City to just eventually just do what they do. But look at Man City in their last 3 games, right? They've been going through a difficult spell. They only scraped past Fulham. They just scraped past Leicester. And today I was watching the game, 10 minutes of injury time, and I was thinking they're probably going to scrape past Brentford. And they didn't. They lost. So now it was one of those games where I think a lot of people were ready. A lot of non-Arsenal fans are going to have tweets already drafted. They're going to have to delete now about Arsenal bottling it, not being able to handle the pressure. We showed today that even if that pressure comes up on us where we have to go and get a win because everyone's expecting us to fail and go and get that 5-point lead going into the World Cup. I mean, seriously, we made it look good today. We made it look easy. And I know Wolves, they weren't pushovers, but I don't ever feel like we were seriously threatened. It's one of those games where it's a bit strange because I said this recently as well. Not many Arsenal players are going to turn around and say I had the best game of my season or, a career highlight game. There weren't performances that were great. I think Martinelli and Saka, they should have been a lot better than they were. But, it's a really odd game and it's uncharted territory. We've never, ever had a Premier League game before where a World Cup is, so close and, in the middle of a season. So maybe that was in some of the players' minds today. I don't know. But ultimately, Ødegaard stepped up today. I was really desperate for Jesus to score. I'm not going to lie, because last time he scored, beginning of October, and he just hasn't been clinical enough. But even Martin Ødegaard, massive performance from him. Really important, because he hasn't scored in a long time either. And Jesus, look, he does so much work around the pitch. So for me, he's always going to be one of the first names on the team sheet. But yes, he does not score enough. But what it means when we've got a striker like that is that other players need to chip in and step up. And we've been seeing that this season from across the team. It was Gabriel recently. He's a defender that knows how to score a goal. Sometimes it's Saka. Sometimes it's Martinelli. Sometimes it's Ødegaard. And I needed Ødegaard to step up again today because he hasn't scored in a while. And he did the business. He's my man of the match. Let me know in the comments below who you think your man of the match was. But I thought he was brilliant. And at the end of the game, you saw the confidence running through his veins. Lovely little nutmeg, lovely little turn. He was really enjoying himself. And that's a player that's not going to be at the World Cup as well. Much like City's Haaland. Obviously no Norwegian presence in the World Cup. So I want him to come back and lead by example and have a brilliant second half to the season. Remember, before the season started, people were talking about Buendia. And there was an argument there about, should we assign Buendia? Who's talking about Buendia now? And this is what I'm saying, man. Arsenal have just proved everyone, including myself, wrong. And they're just going above expectation. We are absolutely just doing unbelievably well. And you think about, remember that All or Nothing that all of you would have watched and how we ended last season. That is the one question that remains over this manager and this team. When those pressure games start, can we do the business? And, I'm nervous about that. I really am, because Arteta has finished 8th and he's finished 5th, and he hasn't been able to manage the end of a Premier League season. But I feel like it's different this year. I really do. I'm excited about what's to come in the second half of the season. And do you know what? Like, for me, it's the first time in my life I'm not looking forward to a World Cup, because as far as I'm concerned, that's just a distraction. I would take Arsenal winning the FA Cup than any national team winning a World Cup. You could say to me, England, whoever the hell can win a World Cup. I don't care. I don't care about international football. I care about Arsenal. I'll take the most basic trophy, never mind the Premier League. And the World Cup is coming at a massively disruptive time for Arsenal, because as far as I'm concerned, I want Arsenal to be playing every week, twice a week, whatever it is. We're churning it. We're churning these fixtures and just getting 3 points every single time we play. I'm happy today that we finally scored more than one goal, because I've been saying in my 5 at 5s that, that counter was going up, or the amount of games that we've played and struggled to get past one goal. Only Nottingham Forest, and now this is the second time in 10 games we've got more than one goal. It was very, very important to do that. Now, a few players that I thought did really well today. Ramsdale dealt with everything that came his way, and sometimes it's not like the show-stopping saves. It's just doing everything really simple so that there's nothing available for Wolves to even get a foothold in the game. Saliba and Gabriel at times brilliant, at times a bit dodgy. I think Saliba made probably his worst mistake in an Arsenal shirt today, and thankfully it seemed like it was a Gabriel deflected off Gabriel, who got a good little block in. The two complement each other very well. It's such a good little pairing at centre-back, but it was a bit of a dodgy moment for Saliba. Thomas Partey, good as usual. The one blow today is Granit Xhaka. Going off that early, I was nervous about how Arsenal are going to sort of respond to him going off. But look, we did the business. I just hope for his sake that he is fit for the World Cup, because obviously as captain of Switzerland as well, it will be a massive blow for them. But for him personally, it will be a really, really bitter pill to swallow, because he is in the form of his life. And in the past, we've always said that he does better for Switzerland than he does for Arsenal. He plays a bit more of an expansive role generally for his national team. But he's been given that role for Arsenal this season, and he's done brilliantly. So I can only imagine how well he'll go and do in the World Cup. Hopefully he's fit. And now all there is left to say is, well, firstly, actually, I need to say thank you to Little Dessert Company, who hosted me in this box today. And check them out if you've got one in your town. And secondly, listen, Benny Blanco, Bukayo Saka, Aaron Ramsdale for the England contingent, and all the Arsenal players going to the World Cup. I hope you have good World Cups and stay injury-free. Up the Arsenal, top of the league, 5 points clear. Can't wait for the next part of the season.